starting their first laps is Flicks, and Alfie to be not far behind him, getting a little slipstream, but already Flicks is invalidated at the first corner. And Alfie is going to be through and the first across the line with a valid lap at the moment. Around the final corner, is it valid? We'll see when he gets to the line. DRS on, and it's a 104.7 for Alfie. Next across the line will be the Red Bull of Josh. To the line, it's going to be a 104.2, and then Lachlan to the line. It is invalid for his first lap. And Elliot to the line, I think his lap was invalid. It's 4 tenths faster than Alfie at the moment, and all drivers are all over the place at the minute. There's Lachlan finding the gravel for whatever reason. As Elliot is approaching, the frame rate's actually decreasing because of that. It's kicked up so much gravel. Here comes the Red Bull driver, the second Red Bull driver. He's been with them, well, this being his second season with them now, but there will be no more with Red Bull, seeing as next season he'll be the Ferrari team principal. But Cristian to the line will set a 105.7. He's currently a second and a half off the pace of his teammate, who sits on provisional pole. Going into the final corner, he flicks the car in. Is it going to be valid? To the line, he will set currently pole position, as it's a 1:37. It's a stonker of a lap. 6 tenths faster than his rival Josh in the Red Bull. It seems to have decent pace, but it's not fast enough for the likes of Flicks, who has got provisional pole. 15 points, I believe. But Elliot to the line will set the third fastest lap time with a 104.3. It's only a slightly bit slower than Josh, but there's always time to improve. He can probably get that Mercedes a little bit higher up the order, edging closer to his teammate. On a fly up for Red Bull, he's going to want to have a better lap time than what he has, but he's only half a tenth up on his time. And that could be invalid, but he had a twitch of oversteer there. Coming out of the corner, he's going to swing the car in. Car hasn't got much battery left, but out of the final corner and to the line. What lap time is this going to be for Cristian? He does improve by almost nothing though, as he stays 5th fastest. He's not done enough, but getting to the line, it's not going to be enough, and he's going to go for another run. Possibly what will be his final run. Cristian's off into the gravel to avoid any drivers. Alfie's on his final run. Cristian is on Flicks is on his, and he's currently a 10th up just in the first sector. So it's either him deploying a lot of battery, or he's just improved a lot. Alfie's improved by 10th in the first sector, so we could see a run-in for the podium places. If Alfie can improve a lot more in the second and third sector, he's going to put pressure on Elliot, but for now, coming out of the second sector, he's only half a tenth up, and that wouldn't put any pressure on Elliot and Josh. But here we go then. To the line, Alfie ran a final corner. It might be invalid, but to the line, does he improve? He does. That's 4th fastest for Alfie. The bottom 5 have been set. To the line, will Flicks improve his lap time? He does, to 1:03.4, and that is pole position for Flicks in Austria. He keeps his pole position streak alive and the potential to increase his win streak. Josh to the line. What sort of lap will this be? It'll be an improvement, but not enough. There's a 4.0. And Elliot to the line. I don't think his lap was invalid. And Lachlan didn't end up setting a lap in time anyway. So that is your grid order. Here we go then for the formation lap. The grid has been set. The only driver to be on a different set of tyres is Cristian, who's opted for the hard compounded tyres. And maybe struggling with a bit of tyre wear, or prefers the hard tyres off the start. Some drivers do, and they go long and then go on the fastest tyre towards the end, have a burst of energy to see if they can overtake anyone. But there's only 6 of us today. No drivers have joined between qualifying and the race, so this will be your grid. Here we go then. 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix. 4 left to go after this one. And away we go. Flicks gets a good start off the line. Josh is trying to follow but doesn't get a great start. Elliot's on his heels, but Josh manages to get into turn 1 cleanly. There's a collision behind between Lachlan and Cristian, but both of them come off of that completely clean. But Flicks has a nice gap off the start going into turn 3. He locks the fronts a little bit, but Josh seems to be in danger already. Just coming out of turn 3 and Elliot is on him. Is anyone going to get into turn 4 making a move? No. For now they all continue on nicely as they started, but Josh is going to have to hurry this up if he wants DRS on Flicks and have a chance at the lead of the Grand Prix. But we know Flicks' pace. He's shown it all throughout his BRL career, how fast he can be when he gets it into a rhythm. And already nearly a second ahead just off the opening lap. But I think Josh will just be in the right range for the detection point, and does. So here we go then. The fastest lap currently Flicks is. But as we continue on through the field, the gaps aren't too large between second, third and fourth, and Josh has gone wide off the exit of turn 1. Now here we go. Through turn 2 and then into turn 3. Is anyone going to go for a move? Not yet. But I assume as soon as DRS is activated for these cars, that someone will have it. Coming into turn 4 we go, and Josh is locked up. It's not that heavy of a lock up, so he's continued on just fine. But Elliot is all over the back of him. Is he going to be able to go for a move? Not this time round. Going into second sector and then going into the third. A few corners to go at the end of lap 2. Probably due to the DRS power of these 25 red cars. And Flicks has gone off wide. It's going to give Josh a chance to close in back close again. Into the gravel slightly as Flicks goes. There's only 4 attempts between them. Josh could go for a move. He does lock up into the third corner. But can he get a good enough exit, deploy enough battery and DRS? He's got on a little nice gap to Elliot for now. As he goes into turn 4, he's going to be close, but not enough for a move this time round on the Mercedes. But here we go then, down the straight. Elliot's lost a little bit of time. Still within the DRS, well, he's not within DRS range anymore, but he still had the rear flap open. And Cristian has gone for the move on Alfie. Seems to be a clean one round the outside, and he's got that one done as the Red Bull moves up to 4th. So he's going to be no longer going to be able to catch up to Josh, who's just staying within a second to Flicks. But we have our first pit stop of the day, and it seems to be Alfie for ideally a set of hard tyres. Not sure whether there was damage to the car. I assume not, just a pit stop. But here we go then between these two. Flicks has locked up again. Josh is going to focus on his exit. He's going to use overtake to as much as he has of that battery available and DRS. But again, not close enough. Flicks seems to be getting better exits out of turn 3 than Josh can. And he's keeping just too far ahead. Here we go then. Josh is a bit closer this time going into turn 1. Can he get his exit right? As we also have a pit stop for Lachlan, who has been supposedly on the hard tyres, and Flicks has let Josh by. He's doing a bit of DRS chicken here, it seems. Josh locks up, but Flicks, is he going to have a good enough exit to be able to get Josh? But for now, he's actually let the Red Bull by, and he won't be able to overtake him. Josh is using his battery to stay ahead. And for now, Josh is in the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm sure Red Bull fans would like that one. Josh has had a little bit of a twitch on exit, however, of turn 5, approaching turn 6, he's still going to be ahead, but not by much as the gap is closing. Flicks seems to be much faster and just playing with Josh a little bit here. Maybe he wants to re-overtake him with DRS just to establish a bit more of a gap once he overtakes him. But for now, Josh is going to be the lap leader for lap 8 and starting lap 9. Here we go then. And Flicks isn't too far away either. Elliot's going to come in for a pit stop off the medium compounded tyre. for the hard. Seems as if the mediums can't go as far as what you'd imagine, but here comes Flicks on Josh. I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to go for a move into turn 3. No, not this time round. Josh again locking up. His tyres are going to be wearing away the more he does so. Flicks and Josh coming very close to each other. Not much room Josh has given, but into the pit lane he will go. Well, Josh, he's going to burst his way into the pit lane. Hopefully not get a pit lane penalty as he enters. But there we go. Flicks has been sent off into the lead as the only medium runner left in this Grand Prix. So, Cristian continues on the hard tyres, as he's had 9 laps on those, as we're getting nearer to the halfway point in this Grand Prix. So we've also got Josh coming out of the pit lane now. What is the gap going to be to him and Elliot? Elliot must have had, well, he's going to have the undercut, isn't he, of a lap, but the gap is only 2 seconds. It's not going to be enough. Josh is going to have slightly better tyres. They will be cold on the opening lap, but as further the race goes on, they'll feel nice. And I usually prefer the hard tyres over the mediums, so I'm not sure whether the drivers agree, but the hard tyres seem to be faster for the moment. And Flicks, I think this will be a lap for him to come in just to cover off Josh a little bit. Yep, in he goes. No pit lane penalties for any driver so far. I don't want to jinx it for when Cristian comes in. I'd rather no one get pit lane penalties and we all leave it down to racing. But every driver now on the hard compound of tyre. Flicks will leave the pit lane. And now it's going to be very close between him and Josh. Josh was leading before the pit lane, before going into the pit lane, before his pit stop. He's going to come back out. He's going to have a nice gap to Flicks. And his teammate is actually not going to be far away from Flicks at all. It's only going to be half a second is the gap, and Flicks is actually out of DRS range to Josh. But by the time he exits the pit lane, he could be last here, Cristian, as he's got a lot of time to regain. Here we go. The gap is only 4 tenths between Flicks and Josh. They both exit the final corner as a burst, almost a slingshot worth of pace. It's the fastest lap set by Flicks, a 1:06.6 on the hard tyres. Josh has gone wide. Now here comes Flicks. There's only 3 tenths between them. Is he going to go for a move? Cristian isn't far away from them at all. There's only under a second between them. Hopefully, for Josh's sake, he can have his teammate help him out here, but I'm not sure whether that's going to happen. You'd rather him get out of the way, but Josh has gotten DRS and he's moved out of the way, and Cristian is going to tuck in behind him. This is Red Bull playing games here. Cristian could be a help for Josh and have a nice little barrier. This is very, very coolly done and classy from the Red Bull drivers as they work together to create a mini shield between him and between Flicks and Josh. And Cristian's done a brilliant job. For now, is Flicks going to be able to get by here? As he's going to go, no, not this time round. It's not going to go for the move. But Josh is just edging away. He's over a second to Cristian. Flicks won't get DRS to Josh, obviously, but he'll get it to Cristian. Currently, Flicks is going to have to go for a move at some point. Otherwise, he's going to be stuck behind for too long. But Josh isn't able to get away yet. So this kind of barrier is helping for the meantime. But after a few moments, it's not going to help enough, as Cristian's actually staying too close to Josh. You'd need to back Flicks up more to help out properly. But here comes Flicks to the racing line. Oh, Cristian's come back across him. Flicks now to the inside as they bang wheels going into the entry of turn 4. On exit, they're going to bang wheels again. Elbows out, but Flicks is now by. The Mercedes has gotten back past Cristian. Cristian's going to try go for a move. A nice little dive bomb, but it's not enough to get past. But he's done a decent job there for the Red Bull team, as Josh now has a 1.5 second lead to Flicks, and that's just slowly crawling down as we now go on to 10 final laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's pretty intense here. Cristian now comes into the pit lane for 10 laps on the medium compound tyre, probably to change his front wing as well, so he can have a bit of pace to charge down Lachlan and Alfie. But that barrier Cristian has put up, it worked, only for a temporary amount of time, as Flix has now moved within a second of Josh and is now able to get close. DRS flap isn't actually open, so he wasn't within a second by the point the detection zone had reached him. But I'm sure next lap he will get, and we'll see a battle for the lead. Elliot, 3.5 seconds behind his teammate. Alfie, 7 seconds behind Elliot, and then 7 seconds again behind Alfie is Lachlan. And we'll see Cristian, who just pitted for a set of mediums, 2.5 seconds from him. It's going to be interesting because Flix is deploying his battery using DRS, and he's going to go for the move up the inside. He did it before he even had to go for a move by the corner, and he's passed Josh into the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. But Josh is going to have DRS. He's going to come straight back at the Mercedes driver, and he's back through again. Maybe did Flix actually want him to do that, playing a bit of DRS chicken, as we've seen Charles Leclerc and Verstappen do in real life in the 22 season in Jeddah. It's kind of a similar concept going on here in Austria. Here comes Flix to the inside of turn 4, down the inside of Josh. He's going to have to back out of it, see if he can go, if there's any gaps on the inside. No, Flix is through into the lead of the Grand Prix once again, and Josh has nothing to respond back to the Mercedes driver, and he's now through and gaining a gap to Josh. This is exactly what Flix needed. But it seems Flix is wanting to let Josh by here as he slowed down a little bit. Josh up the outside going into turn 3. They're both brake late. Josh locking the fronts. And now on the exit, here comes Flix, who actually has the DRS here to the inside. Is he going to go for a move? Late on the brakes. They both lock up. Who's going to be in first out of turn 4? It seems to be Josh for the moment, but Flix is to the outside. Are we going to see a move around the outside for the Mercedes driver? They do make subtle contact, but not enough. And Josh remains in the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. We haven't got many laps to go. If this keeps fighting, if this fight keeps happening for the rest of the Grand Prix, it could be either one of these drivers for the win. But it's going to be crucial for Flix to have a greater lead than what he already has. And it's going to be crucial for Josh to try claw back as many points as possible on Flix. But here we go then. The tyres difference between him and his teammate. Flix has gone back through up on the inside at turn 1. The Mercedes back past again, but Josh, he's going to have DRS and battery to his advantage. Is he going to try go past Flix up on the inside? Is he going to go for the move? He does. Locks up slightly. These two coming together. They make contact. And Flix is still continuing on. It's not a lot of contact, but they do make it. Elbows up for these two as a drag race again down to turn 4, and Josh is going to be back by and into the lead once again for the Red Bulls. And Flix on exit is going to try catch him as much as he can, but he's going to tuck in for now, save the battery, and maybe look for another try at the overtake. As both Red Bull and Ferrari are going to be fighting each other. Flix goes wide. Focus is on his exit here. It's another nice exit for Flix. Will he be able to get the move done at turn 1 once again? Is Josh going to let him? He will. I'll tell you something. Josh has these mind games sewn up. Out of turn 1. DRS activated for the British driver, as he's going to go for the move once again into turn 3. How many overtakes have we seen this race? It's a lot more than you see in real life. Here comes Flix to the inside. Who's going to have a better exit? They're wheel to wheel, but Flix is passed by the use of DRS and the battery. There we go then. Flix is back ahead by turn 4, and this time Josh isn't the one leading the Grand Prix, as these two are fighting on old hards with only 3 laps to go. Gonna try. He can't make a move down at turn 1 as he's not close enough, so it will just be reminiscent of the last lap. But Flix has gained a lot of time. He has gone off the circuit. Josh might be complaining about that or not, but Flix has actually gone off the circuit and let Josh by. I'm not sure whether that was intentional, but it was a straight line, so it has to have been. But now Josh is ahead by over a second, and DRS is going to be with none of them as they continue on. But Josh is now in the lead of the Grand Prix. Flix is having to settle in for second for now, as there's not many laps to go, so he couldn't have, maybe he knew to give the place back after the fact of going over track limits and gaining too much time. But here comes Cristian on Alfie. Is he going to go for a move? Now up on the inside's the Red Bull. Elbows out. He bangs wheels with Alfie and gets past. It's a forceful move, but is it going to be complete? For now it is, as we move back to Josh and Flicks. We're still ever so close with each other. As we move on to 2 final laps of the Austrian Grand Prix, it's going to be very interesting for the battle for 4th and the battle for the lead. But only 2 tenths is the separation gap between Josh and Flicks is going to have DRS here and the use of his own battery, as he's actually pushing Josh along and into turn 3. No move made by Flicks. He's going to take his time. Knows how important this can be. Alfie behind and Cristian are battling for position. Cristian on the fresher medium tyres has currently got the move done. Flicks isn't going to be able to go for a move just yet. He might be waiting for the final lap, which is the prime time to do an overtake. And these two battling it out for P4. Elbows out. They're both getting rough with each other. But the move currently with Alfie. And Cristian closing back up again to the outside line. I think the end plate's gone off that Red Bull, but they're both banging wheels. They're both fighting rough. And currently Alfie is back past and they're both coming together. It's so close between these two, but for now Cristian is ahead going on to the final lap, and that is going to be a close battle. But this is the battle everyone wants to watch for the moment, as Flicks seems to be wanting the move into turn 1, and that's the lead of the race. That could be crucial, but Josh is going to have the impact. He's not going to have the impact of DRS, but he's going to have battery to help him out. He could just stay behind and wait for the DRS detection point. Late on the brakes they go. I think Josh is going to have the DRS here. At the exit of turn 3, he does. This is going to be the only chance, possibly the only chance to go for a move. Here comes Josh to the inside to go for the move for the Red Bull team. Flicks stays ahead. He brakes late, and it's enough. He's currently through, and this could be the win wrapped up for the Mercedes driver. It's been a brilliant fought race from Flicks, as it will be enough. Hopefully it is for him, for his sake. 3 tenths the gap. I don't think it's going to be enough. Currently, Cristian is ahead of Alfie. Any mistakes made will cost him now, but here we go then. Out of the final few corners, it's going to be another race win for Flicks. Over the line, he's increased his championship gap as he wins in Austria. Josh comes home for second, just under a second gap to Flicks. And crossing the line for third is Elliott for his, I believe, 3rd podium of the season. Cristian coming around the final few corners to pick up a 4th place for Red Bull is valuable points on Ferrari, as Alfie is going to get a penalty as he crosses the line anyway to finish 5th and Lachlan to finish 6th.